And here's the thing, it happens every day, pretty much every single game. And the women of the WNBA, and there's female broadcasters out there who don't even hide their disdain.
We have a generational talent and a WNBA superstar who had 2 cheap shots right there that weren't called. And I just say again, absolutely unacceptable.
The microphone was still operating, and what was just captured in private has sent shockwaves across the basketball community. Imagine discovering that the person you believe to be the worst bad was merely a pawn in a bigger game. Stephanie White, the head coach of the Indiana Fever, thought the live. She turned to her assistant and murmured something so sinister that both the stadium feed and her own collar mic were entirely shut off. So concealed, the public was never supposed to hear it. A reality that might destroy the entire infrastructure of the WNBA. However, that was only the start. The instant this extremely private audio file leaked into the main, Commissioner Adam Silver lost it over computers at the NBA headquarters, without a single second of hesitation. He personally intervened and sent out an urgent message without calling a board meeting. Top secret announcement that has immobilized the entire league. Your mouth will drop when you hear what Silver uttered in a fit of wrath. What was going on in the background? Were the referees really told to target Caitlin from the top down? At all costs, Clark. The most important question of all is this: when Clark was being physically assaulted on the court, why did her own coach say nothing at all? Every single curtain is being drawn back in a matter of seconds. And the unpleasant reality is emerging. Let's get right to the core of this plot, beginning with that very contentious game in which every professional sports boundary was fully transgressed. What took place on that court did not like a typical basketball game. It appeared to be a well-planned plot. Caitlin Clark was unrelenting. Physically targeted, blinding hits, illegal screens, and hard fouls were occurring in plain sight. The referees were being jeered by thousands of angry spectators in the stadium. However, those 3 officials took action. As though they were wearing blindfolds. It appeared to them that the regulations had changed drastically in an instant. However, the most startling aspect wasn't the biased calls made by the referee. When the supporters turned to face the Indiana Fever bench and saw there Stephanie White, the head coach, was sitting there in complete quiet. In a typical basketball game, when your franchise player is being pursued like that, a coach turns into a lion. They overrun the court, yell at the authorities, and cheerfully accept a technical foul in order to defend their property. However, Stephanie White? Complete quiet.
The WNBA before, or watching Dave Portnoy never talked about the WNBA. Suddenly he's tweeting about the WNBA. She's an unbelievable shooter. She's an incredible competitor, all those things. And they're going out of their way to break her and ruin her. It's not just the punch and the little extra dig and the kick. There was another play, I think maybe it was the same game, where one of the defenders did what's the most dangerous thing you can do in basketball, which is when someone shoots, that you just walk close enough to them so that they hopefully step on your foot, in which case they're going to either break an ankle or maybe, break it, snap an Achilles or something. And this is happening time and time again. And I would say that if the WNBA will not do anything about this, which it seems that they will not, that Caitlin, not whatever I called her before, not the one from CNN, that Caitlin Clark should leave the league and she should start her own league. And I know that sounds completely insane. And I know she'd probably, the toll it would take, and I get all the reasons not to do it. But at some point, there is something so grotesque happening here. And I would also say, and maybe this sounds a little sexist, there's something different about women hitting women than watching men hit men. I just think optically there's something.
She seemed to know exactly what was going to happen to Clark that evening. She made no attempt to object. The physical suffering her own player is experiencing. Social media was exploding with questions about how a coach could demonstrate such complete disdain for her biggest star. However, the real explosion happened after the game when the stadium was empty, the press room microphones were being set up, and Stephanie White took her "Take a seat." The audio engineers thought the live broadcast feed was down after the media left the room. After cutting the lines, she leaned over to her assistant and mumbled something that would permanently ruin her career. Her remarks totally went against all accepted norms. We are no longer able to shield her from this, she stated. We have no control over it at all. This is how they want it.
Types of stuff. Ridiculous, man. Alyssa Thomas is dirty. Look at the dirty plays. Look at this angle where she puts her knee directly on her groin. She was out to injure Caitlin Clark. Look at this.
Streaking to the basket.
Look at her. The ball is all the way over there. Why is your knee in her groin? What are you doing? What are you doing, Alyssa Thomas? The ball isn't even over there. Look at where the ball is, guys. Look at where the ball is. Why are you going through putting your knee on her groin? The ball is clearly behind you. Caitlin Clark don't got the ball. What are you doing? This is targeting. This is an attack. The WNBA needs to step in and do something about Alyssa Thomas and her goon squad brutally, viciously attacking Caitlin Clark. Brutally, viciously attacking Caitlin Clark. What are y'all going to do about it? What are y'all going to do about it? This is the biggest star to ever come in this league, and you're letting this thuggery go on. You're letting people viciously target her. It's ridiculous, man. Alyssa Thomas is a joke. Alyssa Thomas is disgusting. This is nasty. This is nasty. This deserves a suspension. Damn a fine. Damn a technical. This should have been a flagrant 2. She should have been ejected for this. She should have been ejected. Nasty. Look at all this dirty stuff they're doing. Landing zone fouls. Landing zone fouls. This is the play where Caitlin Clark appears to have hurt her back. I mean, bro, it's just nasty ass plays by the Phoenix Mercury, man. This is nasty work by the Phoenix Mercury. They went out there and targeted Caitlin Clark. They injured her. That's just what it is, bro. That's just what it is, man. This team is dirty as hell. And now you would have thought the WNBA would have been prepared, especially after what happened last game. But the WNBA clearly not prepared. They didn't do anything to stop this goon stuff, this thuggery from happening in the second game. Now, when we get to the actual game, Caitlin Clark was off to a blazing hot start, man. Caitlin Clark was 5 of 9. She had 19 points and 8 assists. She was going to have another 30 and 10 game. For whatever reason, when Caitlin Clark went out of the game, she had the third most shot attempts on the team. Kelsey Mitchell had shot more, and Aaliyah Boston. None of these players need to be shooting more than Caitlin Clark. I'm going to keep it real. Kelsey Mitchell got it going. When Caitlin Clark was on the heater, they ended up running like 6 straight plays for Kelsey. I think it's ridiculous what Stephanie White is doing. But Kelsey Mitchell had a good game, 30 points, 11 of 16, 7 of 9 from 3. She was on fire from 3. She also has 6 assists. That might be a career high. But when it came down to it, when you needed Kelsey to make the play, offensive foul, turned it over.
The league's widespread corruption was fully revealed with only one sentence. This is how they want it. Even so, what does that mean? Who desires it this way? Are there individuals in the league? Managers who want Caitlin Clark because they are threatened by her extraordinary popularity. Disintegrated, it was evident from this leak that Stephanie White was more than just a weak coach. Under severe directives from above to avoid it, the entire scenario was intended to separate Caitlin Clark and demoralize her the instant this audio file appeared on desks after leaking from the shadowy corners of the internet. Top senior executives, the entire government was on fire. That's precisely when the final. Adam Silver, a basketball authority, took the initiative, reports attest that immediately following audio verification, Stephanie White and WNBA officials received an emergency, high-alert direct warning notice from Silver. Silver gave a brutal and unambiguous order. If this is how the league's most valuable asset is attacked, and he will personally fire the league's whole management if physical safety is jeopardized. Adam Silver is not an idiot. He is the one who is most aware that if the WNBA is setting records, filling stadiums, and signing Caitlin Clark is the sole reason behind the unprecedented TV rights deals. If the admirers understand that Clark, if being deliberately left vulnerable or persistently targeted, the public will boycott the WNBA. Inside a heartbeat, the number of viewers will immediately drop to 0. Fearing this precise financial catastrophe, Silver made the decision to intervene and restore order to the situation.
That time was a very, very different game. It was much more violent. There was a lot more you could get away with. And Jordan was treated, in some sense, you could argue he was hit even worse than the average guy at the time.
Mm-hmm.
However, what is happening with the WNBA right now is they're saying, we're going to just take our Michael Jordan. She has completely changed the economics of the game, the visibility of the game. She has inspired so many young girls. She's got guys that had never watched the WNBA before or watching. Dave Portnoy never talked about the WNBA. Suddenly he's tweeting about the WNBA. She's an unbelievable shooter. She's an incredible competitor, all those things. And they're going out of their way to break her and ruin her. It's not just the punch and the little extra dig and the kick. There was another play, I think maybe it was the same game, where one of the defenders did what's the most dangerous thing you can do in basketball, which is when someone shoots, that you just walk close enough to them so that they hopefully step on your foot, in which case they're going to either break an ankle or maybe, break it, snap an Achilles or something. And this is happening time and time again. And I would say that if the WNBA will not do anything about this, which it seems that they will not, that Caitlin, not whatever I called her before, not the one from CNN, that Caitlin Clark should leave the league and she should start her own league. And I know that sounds completely insane. And I know she'd probably, the toll it would take. And I get all the reasons not to do it. But at some point, there is something so grotesque happening here. And I would also say, and maybe this sounds a little sexist, there's something different about women hitting women than watching men hit men. I just think optically, there's something just off about that. And they're ruining what should have been their moment to just put rocket fuel under this thing.
All because she's white.
I was gonna ask
and there's the white, right? And
why?
there's the white and straight part, right?
And straight, God forbid.
Yeah.
Is it that? Is it really that? Or is it like, oh, they went after Magic Johnson? Because then I was wondering that. Then you guys brought up Magic Johnson, and he wasn't divergent from a typical basketball player. So is it just the greatness, or is it that, or is it all of it?
There's definitely something else going on here with the skin color and the sexuality. Like there's something going on. You can't read the mind of every individual player who kicks her in the head, but there is definitely this tension because the league in essence has embedded itself with so much of the woke stuff that why wouldn't you be wildly against the successful white straight person in the league? Let's put it this way, then I'll stop. If she was a black lesbian and she was dominating the league at the highest possible level, which I think at one time Cheryl Swoops was, but I don't even think she's a lesbian anymore. I'm pretty sure she married a dude eventually. But if she was a black lesbian, they would never be putting up with this. And the same people that are like, let them play would be screaming, this is racism.
This is so sad.
I heard there's a league in Southern Florida where they're going after this guy named Dave Rubin.
Yeah. Caitlin should get the 18-year-old kid who took out my shoulder as her enforcer.
Stephanie White's head coaching career is now officially on life support due to the severity of the problem. She may be suspended immediately or banned from the sport for life within the next 24 hours. A blacklist of the referees who purposefully turned their heads that evening has been compiled alongside her. Now that the truth has been revealed, this battle is about the WNBA's continued existence rather than just one particular game. What are your thoughts? For this betrayal, should Coach Stephanie White be dismissed right away? Was this a deliberate ploy to Clark, Caitlin? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. If you support Caitlin Clark in her fight against this injustice, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button immediately. Watch this space for the next huge. Keep yourself safe and keep informed.